I am going to admit something today that may come as a little bit of a shock to you. Um, I was born in the United States. I was raised in the United States. I've lived here almost my entire life, 1 year in Japan aside. And despite all that, I am actually a soccer fan. I know, it's terrible. It's hard to imagine that an American could be a soccer fan, but hear me out. So I think soccer is really uh, dramatically underappreciated in this country, and I think that a lot of that has to do with just kind of, for one thing, exposure. Most Americans aren't exposed to soccer on a regular basis, and of course there are reasons for that too, but I don't really want to get down into, the politics of soccer too much. It has mostly to do with the fact that unlike a lot of other sports like basketball, football, hockey, baseball, there aren't a lot of breaks built into the way a soccer game flows, which means that there isn't a lot of time for broadcasting companies, TV stations, to insert commercials. So it's hard for TV stations to make money off of soccer broadcasts. And for that reason, most TV stations don't want to broadcast soccer unless it's a huge event, because they're only going to have one slot for commercials really at halftime, 15-minute slot, and since anyone who watches soccer regularly knows that halftime is 15 minutes, they're not likely to just sit there for 15 minutes worth of commercials. They're probably just going to walk away from their TV set for a while. But anyway, for all these reasons, soccer doesn't have a lot of exposure in the United States, and I think that also, the only people who really play soccer, or traditionally in the United States, has been kids, because there's the what's it called, ASO, American Youth Soccer Organization, exists, but there isn't a lot of attention paid to adult soccer, again for the reasons that I mentioned before, mostly because it's not able to be broadcast on TV, so no one takes it seriously. And that's a topic for another day. Americans not taking anything seriously that they can't be force-fed on the television. But I really encourage you to give soccer a chance. I'm not going to tell you it's the best sport in the world, and I'm not going to, downplay the value of whatever sports you already like, because I think you're entitled to like whatever sport you like. But just because you are already a baseball fan or a basketball fan or a football fan or a hockey fan doesn't mean you can't also be a soccer fan, or at least learn to appreciate what soccer as a sport has to offer. So again, I encourage you to sit down and watch a soccer match. If you can, watch it with somebody who knows soccer, so they can kind of explain to you what's going on and kind of get you started on the intricacies of the game a little bit, because there's a lot that you might not pick up on if you're just watching soccer for the first time, and that may, I think that leads to a lot of the stereotypes that soccer is subject to, such as, soccer's boring, soccer, there's not enough scoring, all this stuff. I'm sure most people are aware of, have heard of. If you know what you're looking for in a match, and you recognize what the players are doing on the field, then you're much more likely to enjoy it, obviously. So I think the key to learning to enjoy soccer is watching it with people who know what they're watching, so you can kind of learn from them. And the other thing, of course, that's very important is that you go into it with a little bit of an open mind, because obviously if you go into it expecting it to be boring and having already decided in your mind that this is going to be a boring thing to watch, then it's going to be boring for you. So anyway, yeah, I'm a member of what's called the free beer movement. Anyways, that's a whole big explanation for another time. But the basic gist of this video is give soccer a chance. You know, I'm not going to tell you that you'll like it, but I think you at least ought to give it a chance. That's all.